Hello everyone. I just want to go over a couple things before our Zoom call for tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Go online. I sent you emails. It's in the teacher pages that how to get onto the phone call. If you come onto the phone call and you do not use your name, if you use a made-up name or some funny thing, you will not be admitted into the call. You also will be muted when you first come on. I had a couple problems with one of my other phone calls, and we're not going to have that again. You will have a chance to speak to everyone, but remember, we're going to have just a few minutes, not a long time period, but a few minutes of notes. Instead of doing a video for tomorrow evening, because your vacation starts on Thursday, excuse me, well, it starts actually Friday, we're going to have notes tomorrow during the Zoom call. I will also open it up for questions. I do want to talk with you too. I want to see how you all are doing. I want to see your smiling faces. So please come ready to have some fun, but also be respectful. All right? My son will probably be helping me again tomorrow, just getting everything set up. All right? Now, at the close of book 3, we're getting ready to do part 4. At the close of part 3, we saw the guys that had divvied out the cigars. They were smoking the cigars and had taken a drink of water, and they were celebrating because they thought, yes, we're going to get rescued here. Excuse me. Book 4 starts out by saying, "Cook," remarked the captain, "there don't seem to be any signs of life about your house of refuge." "No," replied the cook. "Funny, they don't see us." So the captain can't help but notice that there's no sign there. And the sea is starting to get really, really rough again. Everyone is sure that they're going to be swamped by waves this time. Now, on page 458, excuse me, section 22, it says, let's see, if I'm going to be, okay, I'm going to start back at the beginning of that paragraph. They then briefly exchanged some addresses and admonishments. As for the reflections of the men, there was a great deal of rage in them. Perchance they might be formulated thus: if I am going to be drowned, if I'm going to be drowned, if I'm going to be drowned, why in the name of the 7 mad gods who rule the sea was I allowed to come thus far and contemplate sand and trees? Was I brought here merely to have my nose dragged away as I was able to nibble the sacred cheese of life? The narrator the men at this point sees that the nature is just not fair. The narrator steps away and lets the reader in on a little secret that there really is no life station anywhere nearby. The men sit and wonder why the lifesavers can't see them. The men curse a lot. They're not feeling as positive anymore. They start thinking all kinds of negative things about the people on the shore, thinking maybe they do see them, but they're too scared to come and rescue them, because he saw a guy come out and then he saw another guy riding a bicycle to join the guy, and they find out that it's just a plain old resort, that they think they're out there fishing. So they're really very, very upset with everything going on. It is implied that the men on this puny and deluded, they're on this puny raft, excuse me, are as deluded as rats are lured in to nibble on cheese. It underscores the helplessness of man's humanity and its illusions about the universe. The oiler points the boat toward the shore. Everyone gets tense and nervous. The captain sees they may not all make it to shore and asks the men to send news of his death if he doesn't make it on ahead. The men exchange the addresses of their loved ones. The narrator, oops, I lost my spot here. The narrator actually looks inside of everything and, let's see here. Let me find my spot here. Sorry. I think I jumped way ahead when I give you. Looks inside all the men, and they see that they're all angry and asking themselves the questions if they're going to die now, and why the universe, which is what I read to you, why the universe is torturing them like this, why they brought them here just to make fun of them. If fate really is in charge, they think that she should have just killed them at the beginning without all this drama. The waves are getting bigger and bigger. The oiler rows them back away from the shore. In the distance, they see the city. The oiler and the correspondent take turns rowing. All of a sudden, they see that man that I already talked with you about on the beach. And he's waving, and that's when they realize that it was a resort. The reason why they didn't think that they saw anyone at the house of refuge is because they thought that nobody was there, that they were just afraid to come out and see them. But when they realize that it actually is a real house and it's a resort, the mood of the men leap back and forth between cynicism and optimism. They're going to save us. No, they're not. They're going to save us. No, they're not. The captain ties a towel around a stick that he finds floating in the water and waves a makeshift flag in the air. Now another man appears riding his bicycle, and what does he do? They start waving to the guys in the dinghy. They think they're just fishing. They're like, how can this be? The men are so furious, they don't understand why the man isn't sending a rescue boat. The clouds are getting darker and the wind is getting colder. The ocean spray is so cold that it feels like it's burning their faces. Things aren't looking too hopeful at this point in this story. It gets very dark. The men wonder again about the cruelty of their fate. The captain is the most patient of the group and encourages the men who are rowing in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night, the oiler is the one who's doing the rowing. It's very quiet. Out of nowhere, the cook speaks up. "Billy," he murmured dreamfully, "what kind of pie do you like best?" And that is it. This is probably my longest video I've done so far. I will see you tomorrow on the call, and we will close with book 5. And I'll see you then.